You may fire when ready.
Hello, we are the Readers Theater from First Baptist Academy, and we are going to be doing Steamboat Annie by Captain Wright.
Have you ever heard of Steamboat Annie?
How she was born juggling catfish?
Grew taller than the tallest man, Jefferson Jackson.
And beat him in the mayoral race.
A swimming race,
An arm wrestle.
And an anchor throw.
even though he cheated every single time.
But most of all,
Have you heard how Steamboat Annie took on Ernie?
1,000-pound, mean, fighting whiskered catfish.
well, if you don't know, let me tell you now.
It was a fearsome battle.
A fearsome fishing battle.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and fishes of all the ages, the First Baptist Academy's Readers Theater proudly presents
Captain Wright.
Steamboat Annie and the 1,000-pound catfish.
It began in a little town called Pleasant.
The folks in Pleasant were musical. In fact,
Uncommonly musical. Babies were born whistling.
grandmas played fiddles.
And the children kept time on metal washtubs.
But what the citizens of Pleasant liked best was
singing the louder the better.
Farmers sang and their hands laid eggs.
The teachers sang and the children learned their ABCs. And when the barber sang, not one man wanted a shave.
on Sundays, everyone gathered at church to sing from sunrise to sunset.
Even Pleasant's one lone cow sang.
What a treasure that cow was as she sang solos in perfect soprano.
Her voice vibrated like an opera singer's, rippling the waters of the Ohio.
Now it came to pass that Ernie, stubborn, ornery,
And just plain hot-tempered.
he started eating those because he didn't like all this singing.
Folks sang either
Too loud,
or
too low pitched.
or
Too high.
Wow, the mere sight of Pleasant singing cow gave Ernie
A headache.
So Ernie took to being a nuisance.
He ate Charity's ferry boat,
Little Jenny's fishing boat, Tom Sawyer's river raft,
Stock. And one night when a group of carolers with outspreading cheer,
that rascal Ernie.
Swam out of the Ohio River and ate the church.
so Mr. Ugly Playground couldn't get married.
folks had enough.
They were discussing tossing Pleasant singing cow into the river as a peace offering.
when Steamboat Annie got wind of Ernie's bad behavior. This will not do. I'll take care of that rascal Ernie.
Steamboat Annie said, I got you, Will.
Jefferson Jackson said in his slimy voice.
A woman can't fish, especially for a channel cat. Only a man like me, who has that wonderful worm and fishing smell, can catch Ernie.
Then off Jefferson slunk looking for Ernie.
Thinking sinister, cheating thoughts.
Annie didn't waste a minute. She piloted her boat past Brickwood Forest on River Sludge Island.
Wiggled through some shallow bends.
Then stopped at the mouth of Fat Man's Creek, where Ernie lived.
Hey Ernie, you ornery whiskered catfish, come up from the river bottom. I've got a score to settle.
Annie called out.
But Jefferson had beaten her there,
Underwater he swam.
Nose to nose with Ernie.
making deals and desperate promises.
I want to be mayor. I want to win every arm wrestle.
Jefferson said,
If you get rid of Steamboat Annie for me, I'll give you Pleasant Singing Cow.
I've been wanting a taste of that cow. Singing gives me
a headache.
We have a deal. I'll eat Steamboat Annie's riverboat, and if that don't scare her away, I'll eat her too.
Above the water, and he sounds like a cannon.
Hey Ernie, I think you're a
Scaredy cat.
Come up from the river bottom and face me fair.
Ernie rose to the top of the water.
He looked his meanest.
His most ornery.
The worst of the worst. Steamboat Annie took one look at that catfish and said,
There you are, you slimy, chicken belly, ugly fish of a
fish.
I suggest you leave with a change of attitude before I get mad and fish you out of the river.
I'll not leave this river, you uppity,
frog
frog-kissing
kissing
steamboat captain. Go home and bake some cookies. You're giving me
A headache. Ernie said, and then he spit his lunch of crickets and moss across Annie's best blouse.
You won't spit on me again, fish breath.
Steamboat Annie said,
She pulled out her big fishing pole, a walnut tree.
And tied the largest hook ever made to her line.
I'll do what I want, elephant ears.
Ernie said.
You saw the anchor,
Bit off the paddle wheel
and leave tight, mouth open.
to eat the smokestacks.
and he hurled her line through the air. The hook tangled Ernie's whiskers and fell empty into the water.
You miss.
Ernie squealed.
But I never missed twice.
Annie replied. She leaned back hard, whipped her line through the air with a hissing slice.
And sunk her hook into that 1,000-pound ornery catfish.
Ernie dove straight to the river bottom.
He wiggled, splash, belt mosquitoes, and spit water.
But Annie held tight to her fishing pole.
For a year and a half, Ernie pulled Annie and her steamboat down the Ohio.
To the mouth of the Mississippi and back again.
People cheered as they passed.
Had picnics, sold souvenirs, and all the while Annie plays calios with her toes that folks now dance and music.
Swing your partner do-si-do, hook him in the lip and don't let go.
And then one morning, when the river lay still like mirror glass, Annie,
Like every fisherman who has come before and after her,
felt an instinct of slackening her line. With a quick jerk, she pulled Jerky out of the water.
Annie twirled that 1,000-pound catfish around and around in bigger and bigger circles.
Until it was as high as the clouds.
Until Annie cut her line.
Ernie flew past fields of corn.
Miles of grassland and buffalo.
and then over the Rocky Mountains.
He landed in California territory where some folks say he's still causing trouble.
earthquake trouble.
Now, you might be wondering, what happened to Jefferson Jackson? Folks have speculated over the years.
Some say he's ran away.
And
Some say Ernie ate him.
And
a few insist
it was his bones found in Green Devil's cave.
Only Steamboat Annie knew, and she never told that she pulled him.
Crying and trembling.
From Fat Man's Creek and sent him to swabbing the deck for the rest of his days.
Of course, there were those warm summer nights when Annie
Feeling kind and a tad hungry.
Let Jefferson feel.